G'day YouTube. For those of you that haven't seen my previous videos, I have a little Haynes Hunter, the B14R model, and I bought that about a year ago with the intention that my wife and I could handle that boat easily by ourselves, because the previous boat we had was a 23-foot hydrofield, 7.1 metre model, and that was a lot of boat for my wife to handle, too much boat for my wife to handle really, when the wind was up and I was away getting the trailer. So we bought this small boat, and from the first trip out in it, my wife's been saying, you know, we really need a bigger boat. So I was looking around for a good while, came across this boat, and my wife said, yes, let's do it. So we did. And this is our first trip out in it. And my wife loves the boating aspect and the water, but she's not into the fishing side of things. So the first trip out was a familiarisation trip. It was just getting used to the boat, the handling of it, and give my wife a nice ride in it because she hasn't been in this boat before. I took it out on the sea trial, but she wasn't there. We took it out of the Rape Bay Cleveland ramp and cruised on up to Amity Point for a look. Leisurely cruised back, stopped at Horseshoe Bay on Peel Island for lunch, and then on home. And one of the things we had in mind when we picked this boat was that we planned to overnight in it. My wife hasn't slept on a small boat before, so she wasn't really sure how it would go with that. The idea was to go out for a Friday afternoon after work, camp overnight, have all day Saturday there, Saturday night, get up, have breakfast Sunday morning and come home. Thought that was a great idea, but the wife was just a little bit unsure about how she'd go sleeping on a small boat, because we had slept on the big boat. She had no problem there. There was a big 48-foot cat, but the small boat was a little bit of a concern for her. As it turned out, it needn't have been, because there she is sound asleep and the boat's underway. It was a glassy smooth day, but the ride was so smooth, the engine so quiet, she just slept through the whole thing. Now this is the run back down from Amity, down the Rainbow Channel, and we're approaching the 1 mile here. Looks like Stradbrake's got one of its many bushfires burning at the moment. And as I said, we're coming up to the 1 mile, so I'll just see if I can focus in on the wreck that's out there. There's not as much of the wreck left as there used to be when I was a kid, but it's still there, still visible. That's Peel Island over there to our right. And over to our left, the 1 mile full of boats, as it always is. Years ago, I had a 43-footer, and I remember going into the 1 mile one Christmas, and it was that crowded that I could barely turn the boat around to get out again. I didn't want to anchor in there. It was so crowded that if you swung at all, you'd be rammed with someone else, or they'd be ramming into you. So I ended up going down and anchoring in Dimble Bay that night. And that was the last time I ever went into the 1 mile. I can see it's not as busy as that just now, but it's obviously still fairly popular anchorage. I just pulled into Horseshoe Bay to stop and have some lunch, or that's my idea anyway. Horseshoe Bay would have to be my favourite spot in the middle part of the bay. Beautiful water. Just about every time I've been over there it's been crystal clear. Beautiful beach. Always crowded on good weather, but not today. I can only assume that everyone's at the exhibition, everyone in the Brisbane and surrounding areas. Either at the exhibition or working. And beautiful day to come out, not too many people around, beautiful weather. All I have to do now is wait for Sleeping Beauty to wake up and we can have some lunch. I can see the bottom really clearly through my Polaroid sunnies, and I notice as I edit this and in the video it's come out not too bad, not nearly as clear as I can see it with the Polaroids on, but you can get an idea of just how clear that water is. A few more boats coming in for lunch. And what a magnificent glassy smooth day it is today. Lovely day for the first trip out in the boat. that's it for our first trip out. It was pretty magical. Boat was perfect, weather was perfect, just one perfect day on the bay. And as you can see from this picture, I'm lagging a little bit behind in getting a home mate for this boat. I've got a roof over it, but I still need to complete it, and that's going to take up the next couple of weekends, I think. I will do a video shortly. I'll give you a walkthrough and show you the features of this boat. It's an older model, but it's still a really nice boat, been well maintained. After I've finished building a home for it, I'll be able to get out on the water and do a bit of fishing in it. I'm really looking forward to that. So until next time, good fishing.